Listen to your favorite shows live and on demand 24/7. Download the 77 WABC mobile app now. A common sense recap of the day's biggest stories. It's John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby. Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
And joining us now here on Katz and Cosby is Rich Lowry, the editor-in-chief of National Review. Rich, with all of these things going on, who is running the White House now? Tell us.
Yeah, it's a good question. We've been wondering that for a while, right? Some tight circle around Biden. I don't know these people. I don't talk to these people. So we're going to have to wait until the memoirs are written.
Yeah, we will, because, with all the decisions, like there was the 9/11 decision, the plea deal for Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and the other guys, you wonder who even agreed to that. Then we're hearing, of course, that the defense secretary decided not to do it. It's like flip-flopping all over the place, but you have no sense of who's running it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's really an unprecedented situation where we've had a lame duck president in this situation who's declined to run again because he can't run again. LBJ, he was worn out and he wasn't feeling he had enough Democratic support, but he was still capable of doing the job. And we have a president, obviously, where that's a huge question. So everyone, it'll be a version of what we experienced before the debate. Everyone's saying the same way they said, oh, he's a perfectly fine candidate. They're saying now he's still capable of being pressed, but after January, we'll hear the stories.
Yeah, and especially as we're on the brink of everything that seems to be ahead in the Middle East. It is a mess. One of the things you just wrote about, Rich, is also about Kamala Harris's claim of border success. You wrote a column saying it is sociopathic. Explain.
Yeah, I mean, the chutzpah, the gall, the audacity to claim, as she does in this ad and as she has on the stump, that she's better, that she's stronger on the border than Donald Trump, who had gotten it under control by the time he left office in 2020. And they ripped it all up deliberately, knowing what was going to happen, being warned what was going to happen, and they didn't care, and they let it run for 3.5 years. It's still running now, basically without any serious measures to check it. And all of a sudden, she's the strong one. It just goes to the media adulation is so off the charts for her. I think she thinks she can get away with anything, so why not try to get away with this?
Yeah, have you ever seen such gaslighting? I mean, it really is incredible that has these ads out there saying she's better on the border, has these ads like she's the strong leader. I mean, it just seems like it's like story after story, John, as we're talking here.
It's just remarkable the amount of lies that are occurring. And it's like it's an everyday thing. What do you mean I'm lying? They're just lying every day. I just can't believe it.
Yeah, I know. It's so. You look at the changes on the position. Usually in a presidential race, a candidate changes a major position. It's a debate for weeks, right? It's an obsession. There's back and forth in the press about it. She's changed now on about 8 major things in the course of 7 days, and it's disappeared. And it just goes. The media environment is so favorable to her. I don't think it can be this favorable for duration, but they're going to try to keep her on prompter and away from interviews and hope the honeymoon lasts through November.
Let me ask you a question. The other she was border czar, the czar of the border. Have they taken it off Google and off of everything else? I mean, is there any proof left that she was or wasn't?
Well, I mean, there's on the record statement from Joe Biden saying she's in charge of the border. She had a. Have they removed it, or is it still there? Well, you can still find it. It might be difficult, but she had part of her job was diminishing the crossings from Central America by promoting development there, which is itself is just insane. Maybe 30 years from now, if those societies are transformed, people are not going to want to come here for economic reasons. But otherwise, if they can get in, they're going to come because they're going to have better jobs and their families are going to be better off in the long run. And if the message gets out back home that they're getting in, then that's incentive for more people to come. Again, they were warned about this right at the start of the administration, and they ignored it.
How can Nancy Pelosi this morning or yesterday say that President Biden's should be put up in Mount Rushmore?
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, it's called overcompensation. I mean, part of her must feel guilty. She was the one wielding the knife. You know, it was like Caesar. There are a number of people stabbing Biden in the front and the back, but she was the leader of it, and I think she's trying to make up for it by saying clearly ridiculous things. Even Leslie Stahl of 60 Minutes rolled her eyes at that one.
By the way, the other big lie is we have her on tape talking about that she screwed up on January 6th, and there's still people in jail on charges with no charges.
Yeah, I mean, if there had been about, 100 more, 200, 300 more officers there that day, it wouldn't have happened. So it was in part a failure of security. That said, I don't think it's makes any sense for Trump the way he did at that Atlanta rally the other day to relitigate 2020 stuff. You know, he was slamming Brian Kemp, the popular Republican governor there, because they had a dispute after the election. All that's got to go away. He's got to focus on the economy, inflation, and the border, and just hammer away on that in a really disciplined fashion.
Write this down. Make friends every day, not enemies.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can have the right enemies, but don't make former friends into enemies. At least in politics, at least that. And
there's a lot to hammer on, as you talked about, with border and economy and so much else. Wow. Well, Rich Lowry, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Always great to have you here. Talk soon.